Now then, people, it's Joe, it's All Leeds TV, and it's time for another episode of your daily transfer and news update. All things going on at Leeds United, at All Leeds TV, right here, right now. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you for the support so far. Thank you for watching us on the watch along. Please smash a like on the videos, check previous content out, and of course, share and subscribe. So let's get straight into it. People like that it's quick and snappy. I am just going to start with this. I've just had a lovely letter come through the post. It is on my own personal social media. I just want a big shout out to Dan. It's a lovely heartfelt letter about supporting the channel and seeing us on Sky and stuff like that, which is always great to hear, and thank you so much for your continued support. He has sent me this as well, that his wife made him. I don't know if you can see that, but how special is that? So thank you for that, Dan. What an absolute legend. But let's get straight in. Listen, last night it was a slow day. Yesterday was a slow day. Last night things started to drip through, and then this morning it's been quite a busy morning, to be fair. So where to start then? Let's start first of all with this that came out while we were live doing our watch along. We will be doing one tonight as well, myself and Oscar, for the Fulham versus Cardiff game. This came through late last night that Dutch international Joel Veltman had signed to Brighton from Ajax for an undisclosed fee, and has signed on a 3-year deal. Boss Graham Potter said he's an excellent defender who can play at right back and at centre half, but he's also comfortable in possession. And then this came through, so it was actually confirmed that indeed Brighton had signed Veltman. So look, what does that mean then? Does that mean that Ben White could be a possibility? I've seen a lot of Brighton fans commenting on the post, mentioning the fact that they're bringing in all these defenders. They've got too many defenders. If you remember last season, they brought in Webster, they've got Dunk, etc., and they really need to strengthen in the striker area. So the fact that they've brought another centre-back in, or right-back that can cover as centre-back, does that then mean that there is the possibility that Ben White's going out of the door? I do think Ben White's leaving Brighton regardless. I've said to you all season, regardless of what happens, if he comes back to Leeds or not, he will not rock up in a Brighton shirt. And I'm sorry for any Brighton fans watching this, I just don't think he will. And if he don't come to Leeds, which I have a sneaky suspicion he may end up higher up the division. He could be looking at a top 6 side, if I'm being totally honest, guys. So, yeah, let's watch this space. Let's see what happens. Obviously, the links have come out again today about One Foyth. They were out yesterday. I mentioned them yesterday. Watch this space, Leeds United fans. Things will start to move very shortly. I genuinely believe that. Of course, we heard yesterday as well that Thiago Almada, the transfers hit a bit of a stumbling block, as the Vélez veteran midfielder Fernando Gago said in an interview that Almada has promised him to stay at the club for one more season. That would be a bit of a bit disappointing. I don't know if you've seen. I've seen it this morning. Apparently, I am now the wealth of knowledge. There's been an actual article published that states that Joe Wainman was drooling over the exciting Vélez youngster, Thiago Almada. But it looks like that one could be off. But if you do get a chance, check that. Your boy Wainman's now in articles, getting getting in the local press. So yeah, thank you for your continued support, because it's obviously doing something. So thank you for that. A little bit tongue-in-cheek seeing that this morning, but I was absolutely buzzing. Of course, guys, as well, as was brought to you by All Leeds TV this morning, there's a host of reports from Portugal that the Leeds United talked up interest of Benfica's midfield starlet, Florentino Luis. He could join the Whites on a loan deal with an option to buy clause. There's a number of newspapers that have reported that is an option. I did bring that to you yesterday as well, and I was a little bit surprised when I seen that link. Obviously, he's in the Calvin Phillips-esque type of mould, and it was even reported that Bielsa could be looking at possibly playing 2 holding midfielders and up against top opposition. Like your Cities, like your Liverpools, maybe we need that defensive solidity in there. But listen, I'm not a tactician. Don't profess to know any. I'm not Bielsa. You guys know that. I'm just running the mill, telling you how I see it. But listen, that one excites me, and it looks like it has got weight. As I've said, there's a number of newspapers backing up that report. And another one, which again surprised me this morning, a former teammate of Matthias Klick, Sean Kleiber, a right back, a Dutch right back that plays at Utrecht, Premier League newcomers Leeds United, are targeting him as they look to do early business in the transfer window. And that was from Voltbal International, a Dutch paper. So that's an interesting one as well. I know Paddy Miller mentioned it seems a bit strange. We've got cover at right back. Obviously, we've got to think about this, though, and I mentioned it on Twitter, is the fact that Bielsa might see them in one position that they've played in previously and just totally mould them into something different. Who knows? And we do need cover, really, across the defensive back line. Berardi now out. So maybe that's an option we will look at, guys. But again, these are all just rumours. These are all just links. There's not a lot of... Well, there is solid bits to them, you know, certain amounts of press are coming out. But really, when your local press, when your Phil Hayes, your Graham Smith, etc., start to report on it, that's when it really starts to carry weight. And this is why this one excites me. So this came out from Graham Smith at the YEP yesterday, that Leeds feel positive on the Joe Gelhardt deal. If you haven't had a chance, check that article out. They've actually reported in the article as well, guys, that Leeds United could be looking at 5 or 6 signings. Whether or not that includes Jack Harrison, which is signed, sealed, delivered, we're just waiting for the club to announce that. Whether that includes the return of Ben White, I'm not sure. But this one excites me. The kid Joe Gelhardt, he's been linked to Rooney in the same sort of stature, build, and a very excited talent. And he's wanted by teams higher up the division, much like Thiago Almada. But at least at Leeds United, under Bielsa, they're going to get his sort of coaching. They've seen what it's done already to these Leeds United players, and they're going to get game time. So that one really excites me. Another few bits, guys, which really there's no sort of solid links, but I just wanted to bring them up. Eberechi Eze, listen, it looks like he's going to West Ham. I know we were all after the cream of the Championship. He's been linked, the likes of Ben Rama, etc. But Eze could be on his way to West Ham for £20 million, and I think that's sort of money for us for a player like Eze. I'm not too sure, and I think that, look, I think the way that the Jared Bowen deal's gone at West Ham, clubs in the Premiership now have more confidence that these players in the Championship can make the step up. Maybe before they'd have been reluctant to do these sort of deals, but when you look at the likes of Bowen coming up and doing so well, West Ham and David Moyes, I think Eberechi Eze can have a similar sort of impact, so you can see why they would be after that. Also, guys, I am just going to flash up here as well Harry Wilson. And the reason that I do that is, guys, listen, Leeds United have been linked with him before. I was listening to Talking Shut this morning. Make sure you check them boys out. They've now got Focus on Leeds, as I mentioned to you yesterday on. And they made the link to Harry Wilson and the fact that, you know, Bielsa has clearly been an admirer of him. And he was seen at the Everton-Bournemouth game. Now, a lot of stuff's come out about why was he at that game. Now, I know on watch-alongs and stuff, people have mentioned David Brooks, people have mentioned Callum Wilson. After looking at reports this morning and checking out the transfer rumours, it looks like them sort of deals are being linked with the likes of Newcastle, etc. And that makes perfect sense. For me, we don't sign a Callum Wilson or a David Brooks. They're too high up the market. They're too high up the division for us at this moment in time, guys. Ramsdale was linked, of course, but I've also seen that Sheffield United are looking at him as an option in case the Dean Henderson one doesn't come off. So I don't think that happens either. Look, we've signed Meslier on a permanent deal, and I think we'll go for a more experienced keeper. And I know Romero from Man United was linked earlier on in the week. So I think that has more weight in terms of keeper options. So that leads me to believe, and the Talking Shut boys and Thomas said it as well, that Harry Wilson could have been what Marcelo Bielsa was looking at. And I genuinely think, you know, he's someone that excites me. He scored goals in this Bournemouth side that's a relegated side. He done ever so well at Derby. And he'd be ideal for us. He'd be ideal for us, and we know he's good from dead ball situations, which Leeds United have struggled with in previous seasons, apart from the one that Calvin put in the top bins that time. But other than that, we have been pretty lacklustre on set pieces. You would have to agree. So that's that. Thanks everyone as well just for watching the watch along last night. We've had 7.1k views. Very, very grateful. Please make sure you tune in tonight as well, guys. Me and Oscar will be doing a Fulham versus Cardiff one. The reason I just flashed that up as well, I just want to say well done, Brentford. Listen, Thomas Frank was brave. He was a brave man coming out and saying, listen, we will win tonight. And they did just that. They were absolutely unreal last night, Brentford. Swansea were poor. Grimes didn't have a good game. His mum was fuming. But listen, Brentford looked good. And I look at Fulham and Cardiff. My pick was Cardiff. Obviously, Cardiff, I can't see them coming through that tie after being beaten 2-0 down in their own patch. And I think Brentford have too much for Fulham in the final, personally. So I think Brentford might join us, which also then, you know, the likes of Watkins, Ben Rama, for me, they're not going to happen. They're going to hold on to them players. And I am just going to leave you with this, guys, again, that your boy, Joe Wainman, has now started to make it into press. And I've actually been called All Leeds TV pundit. Joe Wainman has been discussing the transfer links which have been made between Leeds United and Thiago Almada, which is absolutely unreal to see. I'm not going to lie to you, like I'm just a kid doing kid. I'm a man, just doing bits on social media. So it's great. And thank you so much for your support and letters and stuff like this in the post as well. It's just absolutely amazing. We love it at the channel. And yeah, please, join us tonight for your Fulham versus Cardiff watch along. And if you don't know already, guys, we will be doing one for the FA Cup final. The FA Cup game on Saturday. Because we're moving in. They're now our rivals, right? They're now Premier League rivals, so we need to be starting to look at this opposition a little bit more closely on the channel. So we'll aim to do that. But thank you so much for tuning in. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.